Hey, welcome to TechPad. Today we're going to break down a really simple but incredibly powerful concept that makes your entire digital life faster: the cache. Seriously, it's this invisible helper that makes everything from websites to apps feel almost instant. Let's dive in.
So, have you ever noticed this? You go to a website for the very first time and it takes, a few seconds to load up. But when you go back maybe 5 minutes later, boom, it's just there, instantly. That's not magic. It's actually a really clever system at work, and it's called a cache.
Okay, so what is a cache, really? Well, I think the best way to get it is to just forget about computers for a second. Instead, I want you to imagine you're in a gigantic library.
Picture this. You're doing some serious research. The main library has millions of books, but it's a super long walk to the back room every single time you need one. So what do? You grab the books you use the most, and you keep them on a small shelf right on your desk. Now, whenever you need them, they're right there. That small, super fast desk shelf, that, my friends, is your cache.
And this comparison gets right to the heart of it. The main library, or in computer terms, the main storage, is massive, but it's kind of slow and far away. Your desk shelf, the cache, is tiny, but it's incredibly fast, and it's right where you need it. It's the ultimate trade-off. You're giving up a whole lot of size to gain a whole lot of speed.
All right, so we get what it is, but how does it actually work in practice? Well, the process is surprisingly simple, and it all comes down to one quick check.
Here's how that check goes. Anytime you or an app requests some data, the system doesn't immediately go to the slow main storage. Nope, it's way smarter than that. First, it checks the fast cache. And from there, only two things can happen. You either get what's called a hit, or you get a miss.
A cache hit is the perfect scenario. It's the jackpot. It means the data you asked for was already on that fast little desk shelf. It's found immediately and delivered to you instantly. This is what gives you that awesome feeling of speed and responsiveness.
But if the data isn't there, that's a cache miss. Now the system has to make that long walk to main storage to get what you need. But here's the really clever part. When it fetches that data for you, it also places a copy of it into the cache. Why? So that the next time you ask for it, it's guaranteed to be a super fast cache hit.
This brings up a pretty obvious problem, though. Remember, that desk shelf is small. A cache can't hold everything. So how in the world does it decide what to keep and what to toss out? It uses these smart rules, often called eviction policies. A really common one is least recently used, which basically just automatically kicks out the old stuff you haven't touched in a while to make room for new, more relevant data.
So all of this brings us to the big question. Why does this matter so much? Honestly, it comes down to one word: speed. Caching is one of the most fundamental, most important techniques we use to make all of modern technology feel fast and seamless.
And the benefits are just huge. I mean, obviously it drastically reduces loading times. But it also saves precious system resources because servers and networks don't have to do the same heavy lifting over and over again. And when you put those two things together, you get what really matters: a fast, smooth, and just all-around better user experience.
But, as powerful as it is, caching isn't a perfect solution for everything. It definitely comes with its own set of challenges. It's really important to see it not as some kind of magic, but as a tool that involves a pretty significant trade-off. So on the pro side, you get that incredible speed, you get a reduced load on your systems, and way better scalability. But on the con side, you have to deal with one big headache: stale data. This is what happens when the cache is holding onto an old version of the information. And trying to manage that adds a lot of complexity and can even lead to sync issues if you're not careful.
Okay, so let's bring all this back home. You might not even realize it, but you are interacting with dozens of caches every single day. It's truly one of the foundational technologies of the modern internet.
Just think about it for a second. Your web browser uses a cache to remember images and code so that websites load instantly. Your phone apps use a cache to store data so they can still work even when you're offline. Services like Netflix use content delivery networks, or CDNs, which are basically just giant global caches that stream video from a server close to you. It even happens deep inside your computer's processor, where the CPU has its own tiny, ultra-fast cache to speed up every single click you make.
It really all comes down to this. We often hear that faster isn't always better, but when it comes to performance and making things feel great to use, a well-implemented cache is almost always the right answer.
So there you have it, caching, the invisible workhorse that makes your digital world feel absolutely effortless. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe for more explainers from us here at TechPad. Thanks so much for watching.